that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
You know. Not your average nigga, I'm a guy out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like I ain't.
Yeah, what's going on, family? Welcome back to the Campaign TV show. I'm your host, brother King Cam, and tonight, man, we got a special show lined up for everybody because if you have been following what I've been talking about recently on social media, on my Instagram, and even on Twitter, where I've been talking about technology, right? The importance of what I found in the tech field and what I've been able to accomplish in the tech field. And I want to try to help as many people as possible when it comes to accomplishing the same exact thing. So if you've been following some of the content I've been putting out, I've been talking about how you can make, a certain amount of money, large, high salaries in the tech field, right? I talked about the ability to work remotely in the tech field, all that kind of stuff. So tonight, I am actually going to be bringing on and interviewing the founder of one of these tech boot camps that actually allows you to get the proper training that's necessary so that you can actually enter into the tech field with no experience and no college degree. You can actually get into the tech field, family, with no experience and no college degree. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Peace to my brother Bam in the building. What's going on, brother? I like that emoji you got on there. I like that avatar, bro. Y'all see the Cowboys now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't rocking with Jerry Jones, but we talking about all of the brothers. We talking about Dak. We talking about Zeke. We talking about all of them, bro. Them brothers is balling right now. Got us looking real good. Got us poised and set up to make our playoff run. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not doing nothing less than the NFC Championship. You feel me? Like, we not doing nothing less than the NFC Championship. So, shout out to my brother Bam. He already said it. Look, how about them Cowboys? So, while we wait on our guests to come, I want y'all to be ready with y'all questions. I want y'all to put y'all questions in the chat. I want y'all to let me know what city and state that y'all tuning in from, as well as the YouTube family. I need you to like, share, and subscribe. I need you to like, I need you to share, and I need you to subscribe. Okay, I need you to hit that like button. I need you to smash that like button. I need you to subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned in to each and every time we are dropping an episode like this, right? And I also want you to hit that bell so you can stay notified each and every time we drop a video. That's the thing on YouTube. You got to hit the bell so you can get them notifications. If you don't hit that bell and get that notification, then you're not going to know what's happening. Now, let me tell y'all something else that happened to me. Community text app has changed their pricing and packages and all that kind of stuff. So all of the people that was working with Community prior to their change actually now has to be moved over into the new pricing, which is like 5 times or 10 times more than what they was originally charged. I was paying like $50 a month for Community. Now they want like $400 a month, bro. Now they want like $400 a month. So now, my whole text messaging, a lot of people I had on my text list, I don't have the ability to text them just now, right now. So what I'm doing is working through that, family. So if you are under the sound of my voice and you, are hearing this and you want to bring some more people into this information, then please share the link out. I need you to share the link out. All right. Share the link out and let me know, who you bringing in. Let me know what city and state they tune in from. So I'm gonna share this out so we can go ahead and get the numbers up in here, family. And then after that, our guest will be joining us at about 8:40, and we can jump right into it. So in the process of that, we can go ahead and drop a track, and we're gonna listen to some music real quick. All right, family.
You don't tell a white man that you're willing to go back and cut
No underbrush.
We already did that once. If we have to do it again, that's not progress. Hell no. Get out of the cities and the towns that we helped you build. Go and find some other state to move in. You move out, we move in. Now wait a minute. You say, oh, come on, Farrakhan, that's a factory. Well, damn, you better put it in your pipe then.
400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking reactive. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking reactive. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. The youth don't need a stunt double. Introduce them to the real thing. Gotta tell them about the hidden hand. Real talk, that's the real bang. Introduce you to the white man. Think you made it, that's the real pain. Then I let you see a white snake and you can't see, they're the same thing. Get your bread, yeah, build your business. Hidden hand in the same lane. Keep us slaves in a small cell. Tell a young nigga bang bang. Shoot first, ask questions later. Two brothers in the same game. Fuck that like fuck crack. Big dog like a great day. 400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking reactive. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking reactive. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years in a living hell. Break chains, gotta break free.
Do for self like Elijah said.
Fire him
Before he fired me,
Eat good, he the man of God. Ain't falling for the
vaccine.
Up late, playing, plotting freedom. Still building, no caffeine. Better tune in
To Farrakhan, cause this here is a marathon.
Build now, getting real now.
Witness the fall of Babylon.
Black man, you the first man. Getting tricked by mankind. If we unite and rise up,
We'll win every damn time.
400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking reactive. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking reactive. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping.
Pay me for my pain, yeah. Pay me for my tears. Pay me reparations
Just for 400 years.
all my people
Struggle and all my people feel.
and now we come and taking everything while we give.
It's yeah. Hey man, that's that brother Ben X 400 years, man. Shout out to the good brother. Shout out to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan featured on that track. Yeah, man, 400 years is about that time. We need their reparations. We need them reparations. Need them reparations. Come on with that check now. Come on with them dollars. All right, family. So, man, that was beautiful. All right, so now let me see. Okay, our guest is coming into the building. Our guest is in the green room, family. The guest is in the green room. All right. So let me go ahead and bring him in. Let's bring him, add him to the right. There we go. What's up, Troy?
Hey, Zachy. Really glad to be here and share my story.
Man, I'm glad to have you, man. I'm glad to have you. So I was telling the people a little bit about, a little bit about the benefits of tech sales. And I titled this Introduction to Tech Sales and a conversation with you, founder of CourseCareers. And, how CourseCareers is helping so many people to break into the doors of tech. So can you just tell the people a little bit about yourself and how you got into tech sales?
Yeah, so I mean, my background is I started my career in technology sales at 18 years old instead of going to college. So I was fortunate enough to realize that sales is where it's at. That's where you make the big bucks. That's where you acquire the skill set to become an entrepreneur. And that's ultimately what allowed me to start this business, the skills I acquired while working as a sales development rep. So I realized I wanted to start a career in technology sales. Looked at my options. Do I go to college? Do I learn online? How do I start a career in technology sales? And at the time, Course Careers wasn't a thing. There were no boot camps helping people start in tech sales. There were no online courses. You just had to figure it out on your own.
Right.
Pretty much every company required college degrees. So I just decided to put my head down, read every single thing I could find online about technology sales, read a ton of books, read all the blogs, watched every YouTube video, and slowly started to piece it together. And then I was able to get a founder of a small startup to give me a chance as a technology sales intern. And that really kickstarted my career. And once you get your foot in the door, I mean, you're in. Everyone wants to hire you at that point, whether you have a degree or not.
Right. And that's it's funny that you mentioned that because I hear a lot of people that are in tech now talk about once they got in, it's like the job offers keep, they keep coming in, they keep coming in. So, a lot of people be job hopping a lot in tech because there's so many different options. So you started out super early, right? You started out 18 years old, 19 years old. You actually was working for a company and things like that and was making pretty good money. So then after that, talk about, a little bit about, the homelessness part and then also talk about, traveling the world and then bringing it back to starting Course Careers.
Yeah. So well, actually, while I was still in high school, during my summer of my high school year, I went actually homeless because I didn't know what to do with my life. I was at a crossroad. My parents wanted me to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
They were cutting me off if I didn't go to college. And I mean, you know how like most parents are. It's like,
Yeah.
especially if they went to college or if you come from an immigrant family, like you got to go to college. That's the only option.
Right.
And I was pretty set on not going. So my parents weren't too happy about that. My teachers and guidance counselors, they were all pushing me to go to college.
Mm.
And all the jobs they wanted college degrees. And it's like I really did not want to spend 4 years and go into debt just to work as a sales development rep. There had to be a better way.
Right.
So what I did is I was trying to figure out what to do with my life. I walked across the country from Atlanta, my home, all the way to San Francisco with no money. So it was definitely
Wow.
a big adventure, as you
Wow.
can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was during my junior year in high school.
Wow. And talk about that. What were some of the things that you came across? I mean, that's just a big leap for somebody in high school to do. A lot of people, they focus on football, cheering, things in high school. And you was like, I'm gonna go cross country. I got to figure my life out. So I'm gonna just take this journey. How was that? What were some of the things that you saw as you went through that
Yeah,
journey?
I mean, I've never been one to stay away from a challenge or an adventure, so I was really excited to do it. So right once summer hit during my junior year of high school, I just packed up a bag and I walked out and started walking. And I mean, I met a lot of interesting people, and
Mm.
I really saw how kind humans are. I mean, humans would give me money without expecting anything in return, offer help without expecting anything in return, give me a ride without expecting anything in return. So it's like just so much support and help from other people that I realized that if I was getting all of this support right now without being able to provide anything in return, I mean, imagine in sales, you're actually able to help people
Right.
solve money or solve problems and then get paid in exchange for that. So it's so much better. So that's like really cemented me wanting to work in sales. And I mean, I walked all the way to San Francisco and had a big adventure along the way. Hitchhiked a lot too. Met a lot of
Wow.
interesting people, and I mean, it really gave me the confidence too that like no matter what happens in your life, what's the worst thing that happens? You lose your house, you
Right.
go homeless. So what? You're not going to starve. I mean, there's so much food in America. and there's so much opportunity that you could always pick yourself up and work your way back up from nothing. So that's really what I figured out, and it gave me the confidence where it's like, I don't care if I lose everything. I'll restart again. I'll rebuild, and I know I can do that.
Yeah, man, and that's really speaks to the mindset really that you have to have when it comes to sales. And people don't really understand the dynamic that sales has just in life in general, outside of just a particular industry where you're selling a product or a service. But the principles of sales, being able to talk to people, you talked about confidence, you talked about overcoming obstacles, you talked about, being in different environments, right? So all of those different things are what helps set your mind up to be successful in sales. And another thing that you mentioned was the fact that you was just hell bent on not going to college. And you was like, I'm not going to be in debt, just to work a regular job. So just talk about it a little bit in the introductory course about, college and debt and the system really beating that down a lot of people's throat. Just talk about that a little bit, and, what really made you want to go against the grain? Because like you said, your parents was like, go to college. Your teacher was like, go to college. So what made you say, I'm not doing that?
Yes, I fell into a rabbit hole. So went down the internet rabbit hole, started researching about colleges and their incentives and if it actually works or not. And what you'll realize is the whole system is just completely filled with corruption, start to finish.
Right.
I mean, everyone is profiting from you going to college and going into debt. The colleges are profiting, all the organizations that work with the colleges. Politicians are profiting.
Yes.
A lot of businesses are profiting. High schools are measured based on how many people go to college to get government funding. So it's like so many hands are in this college bag that even though it's a terrible investment, there's no denying that it doesn't work in 2022, and there's better alternatives that provide a better ROI. Yet everyone is still pushing you to go through it because everyone's hands are in the cookie jar, and they've been in the cookie jar for the past couple hundred years.
Oh, that's
so
real.
they don't want to get out of it. So I went down that rabbit hole, figured it out, and was like, I know I can do it without college. Our economy has changed. We live in a world where jobs are specialized. Those specialized jobs require specialized education, and colleges don't teach specialized education. And if they did, it would probably be outdated because things change too fast in technology. It needs to be online. I used that thesis to learn online myself. And then that education was ultimately more valuable than someone getting a degree in college.
No, absolutely. They actually have a documentary on Netflix right now. I think it's called The Truth About Money, or Learn What to Do with Money. If you go to Netflix and type in money, it'll pop up. And it talks about credit card debt. It talks about college debt, how college loans and all of that stuff started in the beginning. I believe this was like 1957, I believe it started, and then slowly it progressed into more loans, less grants, more debt, less money, free money to go to college, and it became interest and all this other stuff that just, like you said, puts you in a perpetual cycle of debt, and that you will never be able to dig yourself out of. So that's definitely a good point. So now we get into you got a job in tech sales and you working. So, and again, there's really no hardcore at this point. There's no course career. So it's nobody giving you a charted path to get into tech sales. So you had to piece it together. You had to network with people. You was at a networking event and you was actually meeting people and saying, hey, you got somebody at a startup tech to give you a job. So now that you get into tech sales and you working, talk a little bit about, your experience at your job, and then what led you to, again, creating Course Careers.
Tech sales changed my life. So imagine at 18 years old, okay, I don't have any debt. I'm making about $50,000 a year after my 3-month internship, where I was making about $15 an hour. So $50,000 a year at that time in Atlanta, Georgia, that's with no debt. That's good money as a single guy. Right. So I was able to move out of my parents' house, completely support myself, not reliant on my parents anymore, which felt pretty good at 18 years old. I was able to start saving up money, didn't really even have to worry about money anymore. And by age 19, I got promoted to an account executive where I was actually closing some very large deals. So there was companies like Medtronic, a very big medical company, Luxottica. They own brands like Oakley, Sunglass Hut, and all of those, Home Depot, Carter's. So closing some really large deals and actually sitting in boardrooms in person with executives. And that was at 19 years old, and no one knew my age at the time. The other people at the company didn't know my age. The people the executives I was sitting down with and actually selling multiple six-figure products to definitely did not know my age.
Right.
And I had a lot of imposter syndrome, but at the same time, I was acquiring all these valuable skills and confidence, where it's like, I proved the idea that you can use online education to start a career instead of going to college. At the time, that was not proven. That was just an idea that I had. And then I really proved that out for myself and figured out the path to do that. And then I realized that not only can you start your career, but not having a degree doesn't matter at all as far as advancing your career goes. There's so much education online to advance your career too. Really, college across the spectrum for all careers is starting to become very outdated. And that's when I wanted to start CourseCareers, because I know I can do this. I know it works. I know I can help a ton of other people start a career in technology sales without requiring a degree, without requiring any previous experience. And it can change their lives the same way it changed mine.
Wow. Now, that's a big one right there, because a lot of people don't know. You don't have to have no experience. You don't have to have a college degree in order to get into tech sales. So now you working, you've been promoted from a SDR or a BDR to, which is sales development rep. So let me jump out of tech mode and back into, look, I learned all this in CourseCareers, y'all. So if you see me talking technical, I got it out of CourseCareers. So, but sales development rep or business development rep, right? Out of that role, making $50,000 a year to now account executive, where now you are making a whole lot more money, and you are really closing a lot of deals. But then you leave the job, you quit. So talk about how you quit. You went from homeless, trying to figure everything out. I'm gonna get into tech sales, start making money, get a promotion, and then you quit. So you gotta talk about that.
Oh, yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I'll tell you that, because this all happened in a period of about 2 years, right? Like from the time I was homeless and completely lost, not knowing what to do with my life, to making really good money, living on my own, supporting myself on a really high-paying career path,
right?
Making like 5-figure commission checks. It's life transformational, right? So the decision to actually quit and start my own business seems completely bonkers. And add to the fact that I actually was in the works of closing a couple really large deals, which would mean huge commission checks I'm leaving on the table if I left. I basically said, screw it. Like, starting my own business, it's more important to me. I'm really passionate about helping people start great careers. And I don't think people should be forced to go into debt just to get access to a career as a sales development rep or many other careers. So I felt like it was kind of my obligation to society to start CourseCareers, in the fact that I was really the only person who was able to start it and knew that it could be started. Because if you think about who starts tech companies, right? I lived in Atlanta. I come from a family where no one has any connections, no one has any money, right? If you look at all the people who start tech companies, a lot of the people, they're well connected. They're in San Francisco. Parents come from money.
Silicon Valley.
Exactly. If you live in Silicon Valley and your parents come from money, you probably didn't have the issue I had about no one giving you an opportunity because you're not going to college. That you just never encountered it. So those people will never start this company because they don't even know it's a problem. So it had to be me. So I felt like it was like my social responsibility to start the business. And now, look at where it is today. We're changing hundreds of lives. And I think I got tagged 4 times on LinkedIn today about new people starting positions.
Man, CourseCareers is nothing but the truth, man. And shout out to Omniscient Media Company. Shout out to Malcolm Flex TV. Got a couple of people in here, Troy, that they have actually started their tech journey based on some of the information that I shared with them about Course Careers and about my journey and things like that. So you got people that's in here bearing witness and Troy the truth for real. Because it's real talk. Shout out to Lioness Crown, Sister Jade, for being in the building tonight, because this conversation, like you said, is really life changing. Because what I noticed is that, with the economy in the shape that it is, inflation, you're talking about mortgages going up, rent going up, the price of food, groceries, gas, all of that stuff is increasing, and a lot of people are in an industry that is not growing, that's not paying any more money, that's not elevating people, promoting people. People been in industries and been in the same position or moved only laterally and haven't moved vertically, 5, 10, 15 years, where you talked about within 6 months you moving vertically to another position, within a year you moving vertically in another position, and your salary's increasing. So the power of getting into tech is so important, that this conversation is definitely necessary. So you felt like you needed to start Course Careers. We definitely thankful that you started Course Careers. So let me ask you this, because this is like the number one question, or the number one thing people say when you talk about tech, when you bring tech up. Yeah. You can go get this cert, right? Certifications. You can go get this cert from Microsoft or Google, and you could do Scrum Master, and you can do all this kind of stuff. Talk about the certifications and I'm not going to say myth, but the question marks around certifications and getting certs, and does that help you get a job in tech?
So it depends about which career it is, and then how valuable that certification really is. But for example, in technology sales, there is no certification for technology sales. I think Course Careers is by far the biggest certification in the industry that companies will recognize. I think there's one on like Coursera or something that I'm sure people go through, but I don't know if I've ever seen anyone land a job from it.
Right.
Or there's probably ones on LinkedIn. Really, at the end of the day, you need to learn how to do the job according to what companies actually want from you. You need to learn how to apply to these companies, how to interview with these companies. You need to know what kind of questions they're likely to ask you and what they look for in those answers, so you can tailor your answers specifically to them. And that's what we teach in Course Careers. It's really everything you need to know, start to finish, to be able to land a position starting from nothing, compared to a certification where it just might teach you a very specific part of how to do the job and nothing more. So I would just be careful with certifications, and especially in careers like technology sales. Unless you're getting it through Course Careers, it's probably not worth much.
Right. No, that's real. I mean, like I said, a lot of people talk about different certs, and I mean, just within the last few days, people was saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting into tech, and I'm taking this introductory certification class." So I'm like, okay, so what are they teaching you? Are they, it's an introduction into cybersecurity or something like that? I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. But what you really need to do is be trying to find something that's going to teach you an exact role. And then once you get into an exact role, then you can start to get certifications and to build up from there. And some jobs, some companies, once you start working with them, they might pay for some of them certifications you're paying for out of your pocket anyway. So and you're not making money when you go get the certification, because they're not hiring you after you complete the certification. You just have it on your resume. So you want to start working, and then possibly getting certifications if that's what you want to do once you get into the door. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things. And there was a question somebody wanted to know about tech sales, and if it was B2C or B2B, but somebody else already answered the question. It was like, it's business to business. So talk about, well, actually what I want to do is I want to show this clip of Cyrus talking about how much money you can make in tech sales, and then I want you to talk a little bit more about the money that actually can be made as a SDR or a BDR. So let me get this pulled up real quick, and then we'll jump right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all, my computer act a little slow from time to time. All right, hold up.
you're in tech sales, you're an account executive. So one of the things people want to know is how much do you make?
Okay, we'll get right into it.
Yeah, you're like right into it.
So, no, I know I'm very open about my pay. I think pay transparency is super important, especially in tech sales. What I love about my job is that when you're in sales to make money.
Yeah, definitely.
So a company wants to hire you because you're
gonna help them make
money.
money.
You're making them money. So they want someone who's hungry and who wants to, make a lot of money for themselves, because that usually equates to more sales in general.
Yeah.
So how much I make? So I like to start off straight out of college when I first started my role, because I've been in the same I've been in tech sales since I left college. So initially, I started off making 90K, so a pretty high base actually.
Okay,
the 90K base and my
wow.
OTE, which is called an on-target earnings. So OTE is essentially your base pay plus your commissions, and that translates to OTE. So it's essentially like what you would make in a year if you were to achieve your quota at 100%.
Yeah.
So my base pay was 90K. I was in New York City, so it's a high cost of living city.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Okay, yeah.
So definitely, they accounted for just how expensive everything is. So my base pay was 90K, and then my OT was 135K.
Okay.
So
that's good.
It's a really good amount
good,
straight away.
especially starting out.
Yeah,
That's
starting out. I was
crazy.
going to say, and I tell people this because, again, it's truthful, but usually that's not the case. Normally, I think the OT is around 90K usually.
Yeah.
But it is very possible to make
When
that.
you started out at that, were you an account executive, or did you start out at
No,
SDR?
I was an SDR. So I actually did a 6 month. My company had a 6 month training program before you joined a team, and then were the SDR for that team. So I was very lucky in that sense. So as an SDR, after the 6 month training program, I did 6 months as an SDR for my team.
Yeah.
And then I got promoted afterwards. I did really well for that team, and I got promoted. And then I became what's called an SMB account manager / I would say account executive, but more so I worked with small to medium sized businesses. And my base pay ended up moving up to 95K. And then my OT was 171,000. So already after about a year, I was like, wow, like you can really make some money in
I want
this
to pause
job.
real quick because this is crazy. Like legit, not even just for the watchers and listeners, but even for myself. Like I'm learning a lot right now, because usually when people hit me up talking about SDR, BDR roles, I tell them, okay, well, starting out, you might be looking to make about 65 to 85K. And I've never heard of mind you, I'm not in tech sales, so I'm not even saying this is rare. I'm just saying that it's great to hear that, wow, you can make like really good money, SDR, BDR.
And again, that is not the norm, so you're right. But what I tell people though is that even if you're starting off making 65 to 85K, which is a great
That's still good
salary,
money. That's
good
still good
money,
money.
great money. The fact that you have the option to get promoted so quickly,
Yes.
again, 6 months to a year,
Yes.
that is what you should be focused on. Because I went from, let's just say I was making 85K, I still would have been promoted and got into the range of making the 170,000 OTE.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people that you have to think of, I don't want to say the long term, because it's not long term, it's 6 months
not.
to a year, but think of like, okay, that's my goal, is I want to make it to account exec after my initial role as an SDR. So I put in a lot of work as an SDR, got promoted, and then just recently, back in, I think April, seems like a long time ago, even though, this year has gone by so quickly. Now I'm making, my base pay is 144,000, and my OT is around, I think, 220,000. 220,000. So
That's incredible.
or plus, even more. So like I said, what I love about being in tech sales is that your pay is essentially uncapped. Like the amount of work you put in, you get to reap those financial benefits.
There you go, man. Shout out to Cyrus, man, for that dope interview. But yeah, Troy, so she says she's doing up like 200K. So how much money can you make in tech sales?
It's a lot. Yeah. So what I've seen across the board, and I probably have more data on this than anyone. So for sales development reps, you should expect to make between 60 and 80,000 on target earnings your first year. Now there are some exceptions where you can
say that again. Say that again, Troy. Sorry, I apologize. Say that again.
So I think 60 to 80,000 in your first year is a good expectation. That's a realistic expectation. Now you can make more than that, but you shouldn't go in just assuming, hey, I'm going to be making 100K off the bat.
Right.
But going in saying I'm going to make 70K off the bat, that's reasonable.
Right.
And really, I mean, like you were saying before, like you need to learn how to do a specialized career. Like these are entry level jobs to get your foot in the door. But just because you start here, that's not where you end up. These have career paths. So like she was saying, she makes 220K a year. I mean, that's a reasonable expectation after 4 years in tech sales, or maybe even 3 years in tech sales. I know Trent Dressel. He's one of my friends. He makes over 200,000 in tech sales. He has 4 years of experience right out of college. One of my other friends, Antoine Wade, he makes about 600,000 in tech sales. And he comes from more of an operations background with industry knowledge.
Wow.
And then transition in tech sales, but 600,000.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
One of the companies we work with, where actually a couple of our students have gotten hired, I won't name them just due to privacy.
Right.
But reps at their company make about $1 million a year. So it's, I mean, how do you make $1 million a career without being an entrepreneur, without being a manager? That's just you doing your job. You make $1 million a year. I mean, how is that possible? Like,
yeah, no, that is incredible. I don't think that is even one of the things that are on people's minds as, you know, having a career and making $1 million. Like, I just don't think that's like on the minds of anybody. And I hope y'all hearing this, family. You know, we're talking about being able to come into a career and you're able to make hundreds of thousands, six figures, and you know, you're able to do so much with that. So could you talk about how you was able to segue tech sales into entrepreneurship? Because I've heard where there have been different where a lot of people are utilizing tech sales as a way to get into entrepreneurship. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there's really two ways to break into specifically tech entrepreneurship. You need either a sales background or you need a product development background, aka like software engineering. Okay. I chose tech sales because at the end of the day, what do you need to start a company? You need a product and you need to sell that product.
Right.
So there's only two skill sets you can really have. Either you need to be able to develop it or you need to be able to sell it. And usually the best companies are started with co-founders that have both skill sets. One co-founder is sales, one co-founder is software engineering, and boom, now you have a winning team. So I chose sales. And by starting with sales, I was able to get students using the course, reaching out to companies, creating those partnerships to get those students hired, reaching out to influencers to get them to talk about CourseCareers. So really everything I've done on CourseCareers has been through the skills that I learned as a sales development rep. And if you look at many other companies, Calendly in Atlanta, multi-billion-dollar company, the founder of Calendly is a billionaire. He started his career in sales and then transitioned from sales to being the founder of Calendly and a self-made billionaire.
Wow.
So I mean, a lot of very extremely wealthy people start careers because of the skills they developed in sales.
Wow. I mean, you know, it's almost mind blowing. The numbers that we're hearing, it's almost mind blowing of, you know, a lot of the different things that you can learn, because I'm learning that myself as you go along, how you can take the skills that you learn in tech and utilize them in your business as an entrepreneur, you know, when it comes from sales, when it comes to utilizing and learning CRMs, when it comes to sales methodology, buyer personas, all of that stuff you learning in your day-to-day role as a tech sales, in tech sales and working as SDR, BDR, but then all of those skills translate over into entrepreneurship. So now you created CourseCareers and you are you know, you're seeing a lot of success. Did you think that it would reach where it's reaching now? Because, you know, I'm on LinkedIn pretty much every day. And pretty much on every day, there's somebody who has graduated from Course Careers and, is getting ready to enter the journey into getting a job in tech sales. So did you think it was going to blow the way that it blew?
Yeah. I just didn't know how long it was going to take, but I always had big aspirations that I want this business to completely replace college.
Right.
So when I started it, that was the goal. So I'm hoping 10 years from now, when people think about starting careers, then just the standard is course careers. Going to college isn't even a consideration.
Right.
So right now we're growing extremely fast because we developed a product that works for both the students and the employers. And it's just gonna keep growing from here. And I mean, like you said, you're on LinkedIn, and I mean, every single day you'll see new students finishing the program and new students getting jobs.
Yes.
So it's just clockwork for everyone.
So how are you able to handle the extreme growth of Course Careers?
Hiring a lot of people. So I'm not sure if you saw, but we were looking for a full stack developer.
I did.
We actually just made and got an accepted offer today.
Oh, wow.
So we're hiring a lot of people to be able to manage the growth and continuously building and improving it to be able to handle it.
Okay. Well, that's definitely good. So talk about the added component to Course Careers, because when I first started Course Careers, it was only tech sales. It was just tech sales. But now you have the information technology portion of Course Careers. So talk about that portion, how that was able to come into alignment, and how is that helping to get more people involved in tech?
For sure. And yeah, we're not only tech sales. So we also do information technology, IT. And when a lot of people think about, well, I want to start a career in cybersecurity, I want to start a career as a cloud engineer, all of these sexy, high paying careers, what they don't realize is you cannot get these jobs without experience. You need to get your foot in the door with an entry level position first. And that's exactly what Course Careers does. We get you your first position. So when it comes to information technology, we teach you exactly how to land your first position in IT support, where once you get that position and start getting experience, now you can level up into cybersecurity. You can level up into a cloud engineer. And then actually, I haven't disclosed this with anyone yet, but in about 2 weeks, we're going to be launching our digital marketing course too. So we're going to be helping people start their careers in digital marketing, again, without a degree, without previous experience.
Now, see, we're gonna have to talk about that one. That one right there, we're gonna have to talk about that one. Digital marketing, boy, that's gonna be adding another element, another component to the Course Careers machine. So that is incredible. That's incredible. So, a lot of people, are probably still saying like, look, okay, we hear all of the stories, we hear the fact that you're able to learn, what you need to learn in order to get into tech sales and things like that. What is the time frame? How long does it actually take in order for you to get into tech after taking Course Careers?
It could be very quick. So, I mean, I've seen it happen in less than 2 weeks. That means you finish the program and have an accepted job offer within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Pretty much as fast as you want it to be. And I've seen people finish the course in as quick as 2 weeks. Or actually, I think we've had a few people setting new records, almost just a tad over 1 week. They finished an entire course, which is extremely incredible and is not the norm, by the way. But yeah, a lot of people finishing in less than a month and then getting a position in less than a month. So in 2 months, completely transforming your life, making between 60 to 80K a year on a 6-figure career path with skills that is going to allow you to become an entrepreneur, or perhaps even advance all the way up to an enterprise account executive where you can make $200,000, $500,000, $1 million a year.
No, that's definitely good to know and definitely good to hear, because just from my own experience, it took me about 30, maybe a little less than 30 days. It took me probably about 28 days or something like that to complete the course, right? to complete the course, and then to start my journey as far as the looking for, as far as looking for companies, start filling out applications and things like that. And then as we did that, then that took about maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I was able to land a job, right? So it's not that long. It's not that long. And one of the things that a lot of people, lose going to college, right, is you spend 4 years, getting a degree and you're not getting paid. You spend 4 years not getting a degree, and getting a degree but not getting paid, and you spending all of this time in school, and then when you get out, it's still no guarantee that you're going to be able to get a job. So you're talking about Course Careers is teaching you exactly what you need to know, and I'm glad that you mentioned this earlier, because jobs are being more skill based now. It's not just theory, but it's more about who can actually do the work, right? So a lot of these different online classes and courses and boot camps and things like that are becoming the norm, because it's a lot more cost efficient, and it's certainly a lot more functional when it comes to actually getting the role and being able to perform. So we got a couple of questions. Shout out to Sister Tamora that's in the building. We got some questions in the chat. I want to give Troy the opportunity to answer those questions. People saying they appreciate the information. I gotta buy me a new computer because this thing is wearing me out right now. All right, so here we go. First question is, how many of your students are you hiring?
How many are what? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, how many of your students are you hiring?
What do you mean by you height?
No, you hiring. Like, how many people are you hiring? Yeah.
Oh, are we hiring internally at CourseCareers?
Yeah, from CourseCareers. I think that's what he meant.
Gotcha. I mean, in total, I think we've hired 4 of our students.
Okay.
So yeah, right now we're currently not hiring anymore. And actually, the full stack developer that we were looking for, we wanted someone senior with multiple years of experience, and you wouldn't guess how old this person is. They're only 21 years old. So
wow.
It's because they started their career at 18 years old, started working for a tech company as a software engineer at 19 years old, a large tech company. And now they're a senior software developer, and we're paying them really good money. And they're only 21 years old. And we also hired someone who just graduated from Georgia Tech with computer science. And they're actually not making as much money as this 21-year-old who just went the self-taught route with online courses, because he has experience and the Georgia Tech grad doesn't. So it's just the opportunity cost is huge. I mean, once you get your foot in the door, start gaining work experience, you become a really hot commodity. I mean, your value goes way, way up, and companies are willing to pay for it.
Oh man, and that's definitely a good point. First, and then so we know this wipes this question off of the table, because I was gonna ask you about that Stack Developer post that went up there on LinkedIn. Like, was that the real post, or was Troy hacked?
Yeah, that was the real deal. So it's a little bit out there, but that's what it takes to attract some really great talent that also is a little bit out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. If y'all don't know what post I'm talking about, go to Troy Buckholdt on LinkedIn, and you'll definitely see it. If it's still up there, they just locked in the office, so he might have taken it down. But either way it go, man. I mean, it should be like that though. If you actually able to come to work and able to perform, and and be able to knock out all your work, then hey, ain't no point in you staying around here. You can go do what you want to do. Just come back and finish the work that needs to be completed for real. So there's another question that somebody asks. It says, how's the tech industry as far as work, 100% remote or even working abroad?
So a lot of companies hire fully remote. I would estimate that about a third of all SDR positions, if not more, are fully remote. Most companies, especially US tech companies, prefer to hire people who have a US based address for tax purposes.
Okay.
Now they might be willing to make an exception if you live abroad in a time zone that works for them, so you're able to work their time zone, and you speak really great English. But those would probably be the two exceptions. But for the most part, if it's a U.S. company, they're going to want you to be living in one of the 50 states with a U.S.-based tax address.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I hope that answered your question, family. I believe 90% of the tech jobs are going to be remote. So, really, when you talk about working from home, anywhere in the United States of America, you're able to work for a company, and it's probably going to be a remote company. They do have hybrid companies out there as well, if that's something that you're interested in, but 90% of them are going to be work from home. Somebody said, appreciate you bringing this information. Absolutely. Okay, my son is 7 years old and he's interested in this. Okay, so my son is 7 years old and he's interested in STEM. What are some affordable resources to get him acclimated to the tech world?
So it depends what his goal is. So if his goal is to start a career in like technology sales, then CourseCareers is a good way to do it. STEM in general, I mean, it's just trying to figure out which specific role to pursue is extremely important. Because keep in mind, we live in a specialized economy with specialized jobs that require specialized education.
Absolutely.
So nowadays, I mean, you can't simply just learn software engineering and get a software engineering job. You need to have a specialization within software engineering. I'm front-end development, I'm full-stack development, I'm APIs. So it needs to be something particular. You can't just learn technology sales as a whole. You need to learn sales development like we teach in CourseCareers. So yeah, I would urge him just to try to learn as much as he can about all the different career options and then choose one to really specialize in.
There you have it, family. There you have it. So it's about specializing. It's about becoming extremely focused, right? What I'm hearing is about focused thinking, because it's not about having a broad or a generalized knowledge base now. Get into a particular field or industry like tech, which is broad. Then you can get into sales, which is another notch down from tech, but then get into sales development. If you're going to get into software engineering, then what about it? Is it going to be stack development? Like I said, is it going to be API? What is it going to be as far as software engineering? So understanding a niche, which is one of the things that I learned when it comes to marketing and branding online and on social media, is, get into a niche. That's going to be the best way for you to grow and to scale your platform, is becoming niche specific. So some of the people say the riches is in the niches, right? So you want to get into those niches. So focus thinking, really thinking about what you want to do, where you want to go, and then learning how to do that specific thing. And once you're able to get those core skills and learn how to do that specific thing, you should be able to get into the door. And then obviously, if it's going to be tech sales or something like that, then you need to come through CourseCareers, because CourseCareers is just taking the game over right now when it comes to tech sales and getting people in the door that way. So there's another question from my man Bam. He said, how do you see the sales tech industry tying into crypto and metaverse industries?
So I haven't thought about that too much. I mean, tech sales, we're selling products to companies. So perhaps, let's say there's a product in a company, some digital real estate that you're trying to sell to another business, perhaps as a storefront, and it's pretty expensive. Let's say it costs $10,000. In that case, they might actually hire sales development reps to sell that digital metaverse product. But again, I haven't really dug into this, so I probably wouldn't be able to speak too much about it.
Absolutely. So what helped you to shape and mold your business model for CourseCareers, right? Because your business model with CourseCareers is interesting, because it ties in. Not only do you have to market to aspiring entrepreneurs or people who are looking for a career change, or even young people who are about to graduate from high school, but also companies, right? Because the backside of it is helping people to actually land with a company. So how were you able to develop those relationships and actually build out that business model?
It's a very, very challenging business to build. Actually, probably one of the most difficult businesses probably in the world to build, because not only are we going against the status quo and the brand of the degree, it's a two-sided business model. We have to have our business for students where we do the marketing and have the education, but we also have to sell to companies and get them on board and work with them. And we have to do this in parallel. So it's extremely, extremely challenging. And that's why no one has really ever done it before us, because it is an extremely challenging business to build. But we've done it. So we have a team of salespeople now where they're speaking with companies every day, adding new partnerships. We have a big marketing engine and lots of really great students who are spreading the word about CourseCareers and helping other people also start new careers. And we're just growing really fast right now. And we actually make most of our profit from employers when they hire one of our students, since to them, like, companies highly value someone who actually knows how to do the job of a sales development rep, so much so they're willing to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to hire that person. So really, by getting this education, like, you become so valuable to a company that they're willing to pay an outside organization thousands just to be able to have a chance of hiring you. So, and they're willing to pay you a bunch of money too. So it's just becoming a sales development rep is a tremendous career.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So what were some of the, we actually getting ready to close on this one, but what are some of the biggest challenges that you have actually encountered with building this business and talking to companies? Because like you mentioned, you actually going against the brand of a degree. You got a lot of people that are C-suite executives and that are directors and presidents and VPs, and they all have degrees. So it's like, who is this guy coming in here talking about we're going to, we don't hire nobody with no degrees, and all of them sitting there like, wait a minute. So what are some of the biggest obstacles and challenges that you've actually had to face with building this business?
Oh man, it's more than I could count. And keep in mind, I'm really a first-time entrepreneur. I've never built a tech company before. I don't know anyone who has. I have no network. Or I didn't have any network when I started. So I'm really going at this from the worst possible angle, right? But I was able to figure it out along the way. And that really shows anyone can start a business. And as long as you don't give up, you will be successful. I mean, there's always a path to success, a road out. So as long as you don't give up, then you'll be able to find that path where you can market it this way. Or you can improve the product, you can hire someone, you learn how to do something yourself or how to sell it. And I remember there was one specific case. I was selling to an extremely large tech company. I was meeting with their VP of global talent acquisition, right? Huge, well-known tech company. I won't mention their name.
Right.
And they told me, hey, we've always required degrees. And I told them, well, we're only able to work with you if you drop your degree and your experience requirements for our students, or we won't be able to work with you. That's one of our requirements to become a partner employer with us. And then he was hesitant, but he said, okay, we'll interview people, but I can't guarantee we'll hire them. So I was like, I know we'll win. If you interview them, I know they will impress you.
Right.
And guess what? They had about a 50% offer rate. So out of all the people they interviewed, there was about a 50% chance they would give that person a job offer.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, these are high-paying job offers at a company that's never hired people without a degree and specifically dropped it for CourseCareers. And that just proves that the value of a specialized modern education is tremendous. I mean, a recent college graduate isn't going to have a 50% offer rate. Usually you're going to interview with more than 2 companies to get a job offer. It's probably going to be like 20 or 30 companies, especially for a tech position as a recent college graduate. So it's really profound about what we've been able to achieve.
Yes, no, absolutely. That's really amazing, honestly. Being able to really shattering the mold, because that's what it is. It's really shattering the mold, a traditional go to college route, get a good job, and and it's like, no, we don't have to do that anymore. We just have to learn the skills of this particular job or this particular role within this industry. And as long as we know the skill, we could do the work. Then experience and stuff like that kind of goes out the window. And I mean, and honestly, in traditional thinking, in common scenarios, right? Like, people don't go to school to learn how to work on cars. They learn how to work on cars because they just worked on cars and they got enough experience at working it that they know what they're doing, right? So, the degree has been, put in place, and it's almost now like a barrier, has been a barrier for some people to like, oh, I have to get this in order for me to be able to perform and things like that, when really you don't need that. You just really need to have that specialized skill. So, man, this was definitely a good interview, man. This is really dope. A lot of people, like I said this was really good. Somebody said this was perfect for Gen Z crowd and working parents. People that are just coming into this information, because a lot of people don't know, man. It's a lot. This industry is not an industry that's like, heavily, I guess, promoted, and people don't really know about working in tech sales. You know what I mean? So this is definitely something that was needed. A lot of people appreciate the information. So how can they stay up to date with what you have going on, Troy? How can they follow you on social media and things like that?
Yeah, so follow me on LinkedIn. That's probably where I'm most active, and you'll hear all of the updates with the company. And really, my life is CourseCareers at this point. I work 12 hours a day, usually 6 or 7 days a week, and I really enjoy what I do. And I get the privilege of seeing all of the success stories we're able to create. So follow us on LinkedIn and sign up for our introduction course or newsletter on CourseCareers.com. And then you'll get updated with all of our regular emails. And Zachy, do you want to share your code and link?
Yes, absolutely. So family, if you are interested, if this is valuable to you, and you want to start your journey and path into the tech community, into the tech industry, and you want to start out in tech sales or in information technology, then I have a link that you actually have the opportunity to use, and you can come in, and I also have a discount code that you can use as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, and you definitely want to click the link, I'm going to put it in the comments section, so you have an opportunity to tap in with that and utilize that, and then then we'll be able to go from there. I actually signed up a lot of people, probably about 5 or 6 people. I had to go back and look at the dashboard to see exactly how many people, but got quite a couple people signed up now, just off of my interview, Troy, the interview me and you did. People have watched that interview and was like, yo, I'm definitely trying to, I'm trying to get in. I'm definitely trying to get started. Absolutely. So I have a couple of more affiliate stuff that you're gonna see coming down the pike. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this link in the chat right here for everybody. If you want to go ahead and sign up today. And man, Troy, I'm gonna have to get with you. Maybe we can put together like a webinar or something. And then you can come in and talk about CourseCareers and see if we can get some more people signed up and get some more testimonials, because that was one of the biggest things that sold me on CourseCareers was the testimonials. Because after I saw the course through watching Cyrus's content, then I was on the website and I said, let me look at the testimonials. So first I went through the free introductory course, so I listened to your story. And then I said, let me look at the testimonials. And then when I went and saw the testimonials of different people who had taken it from all different backgrounds, you had people leaving the medical field, people who left restaurant and hospitality. You had people that were, just leaving, working at all different types of places. People that worked in medical coding and all of that kind of stuff. Just on all different type of backgrounds coming in, ex-military, right, former military, just coming in and learning the CourseCareers material and curriculum and applying it, right, following what's in the course and utilizing what you give us in the course and actually following through and seeing super success. One young lady actually took the course, and her job offer. This is straight out of Course Careers. Her job offer was over 100,000. The first one, like it didn't take her like 6 months working for a company. Like this cybersecurity company hired her at a position that was paying like I think it was 126,000 a year, something like that. Like it was big.
Yeah, it was over 6 figures, and actually now we've had quite a few students start at over 6 figures. Now it's not the norm, but it's possible.
Hey, look, man, we operating in a world, Troy, where anything is possible if you put your mind to it and you really get out your comfort zone. Even in your story, you talk about getting out of your comfort zone. You know, in my story, I talk about getting out of my comfort zone. What I tell people that I come in contact with today is get out of your comfort zone. You've been in that industry for 5, 10, 15 years, and you are complaining about not making enough money, but you're not willing to step into a different level, a different environment to learn different skills that will help you make more money. So you need to get out your comfort zone and, you know, get into some different things and, you know, put yourself in position. More skills create the value where people will want to pay you more money. There's so many different areas in tech that you can make money. It's just about getting your foot in the door and then going from there. So, you know, this was definitely valuable. And man, Troy, we're gonna have to do this again. Somebody said this was a great interview. And that, yeah, thanks, Troy, for the information on Course Careers and tech sales. Yeah, man, Troy's super busy, so man, we appreciate him for taking this time out to come and talk with us for a little bit. And man, anybody that got any other questions, you know, you can reach out to me. Y'all can follow me on all of my social media platforms, and we can talk more about tech sales and Course Careers and how you can go ahead and get started. So, man, we appreciate your time, Troy, and we're gonna have to get you back another time.
Yeah, let's do it again. Thanks again for having me, Zachy.
Absolutely, man. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Bye.
Peace. All right, family. So there you have it. There you have it, man. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all smash the like button, that y'all hit that bell, stay notified each and every time we drop a video. And make sure you share this out to somebody who may be interested in getting into tech sales, trying to change the industry, get them a bag, you know, and level up, because there's so many different things that you can do. One of the things that we talked about during the show was the fact that a lot of entrepreneurs or people that want to get into owning their own business can get into the tech industry and make the money that's necessary to fund your business. This is one of the things I tell people. Oh, I want to run my own business. Yeah, well, running your own business requires money. It requires funding. And if you don't have an inheritance, or you don't have loans or something like that, or revolving lines of credit that will allow you the opportunity to fund the business, which most people don't, because you have to meet certain qualifications in order to get that. Tech sales sets you up for that. Tech sets you up for that. You're able to get a high paying salary that will qualify you for loans. You have the time, because your job is 90% remote, right? You at home, so you can take other meetings, you can go other places. You're not tied to clocking in somewhere for 8 to 10 hours out of the day. You see what I'm saying? And then with the finances that you're actually making, then you're able to qualify for loans. You're able to make sure you have good credit, because you should be able to pay your bills, because you're making a lot of money now. So you should be able to pay your bills on time. And then you can build your credit up. You can do all those different type of things and set yourself up for success as it pertains to starting your business, because all of those things are in play. So, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, family. And again, share this out to someone that you know that who may be interested. Feel free to reach out to your brother. I'll be more than happy to help. I'm actually going to be building a community for people in our community, for Black people who are trying to get into tech, who are getting introduced into tech sales, and any way that I can help from the experience that I have working in the day-to-day of a SDR, BDR role. You know, some of the things that you can expect and all of those different things. You got questions about the Course Careers curriculum, you can ask me about it. I went through the Course Careers program, so this is one of the ways we was able to set this up, right? Because I am a Course Careers graduate student. So yeah, family, if you got any questions, feel free to reach out to your brother and we can get it in. And man, I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
You know. Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. And then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. Look, I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? Come on.